Well, hello there. I didn't quite see you. Ah, this is my old tome. Yes, I'm a wizard. As you can see, I can teach you about many things as a wizard, but most importantly, I can teach you about trading card games. Specifically Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a spicy deck for this holiday season that you might love. Featuring my very own Phantom Knights. Bam! Let's get this started. Hello there. So you came here for my Phantom Knights deck profile, right? Well, let me start off by taking off this stupid hat and wig and beard because I can't really pull this off all video, you guys. I'm sorry, I know you love wizards. But maybe they'll be back for a Dark Magician profile. So for my build, I decided to go traditional Phantom Knights, pure Phantom Knights, with a little spicy tech in them. You'll see what I mean. I have a couple of cards in there that might, you guys might find interesting. We're gonna start off with the monsters first. So we're gonna start off with 3, the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak, 3, the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, and 3, the Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves. Now this is a standard set. You want to have a full 3 copies of each one for the main 3 level monsters. All the level 4 ones kind of suck, so that's why I don't play them. They're pretty slow. They each have an ability in which when they're in the graveyard, they banish themselves to search out a Phantom Knights monster or spell or trap card. In the case of the Phantom Knights of Ragged Gloves, you want them if you want to dump any Phantom Knights card from your deck, just to if you need a variety of cards in your graveyard to start searching more cards out in the deck. Basically, this deck searches out a lot of different cards out. So this is the basic build for this. This is it for the Phantom Knights monsters, just 3 of each of the 3 main ones. After that, we play 3 Kagemucha. Now, we only play the 3 Kagemucha aside with the Phantom Knight cards just because this one's a dark monster, it's level 3, and when anything is normal summon, you could special summon them automatically. Now, this is the only one that I like really because he synergizes with the deck really, really well. So that's basically it. I'll show you the spell cards right after this now. For the only Phantom Knights spell card, we run the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. And yeah, that's right, we do run the Requiem Xyz Dragon. I think he's pretty good. He's underrated. A lot of people probably don't like running him, but I think he looks pretty cool, especially because he has the same kind of effects as Crystal Wing, where he can negate any monsters. Plus, he has another ability where he can target a monster, negate its effects, and make its attack 0 and gaining it. So it's a potential, OTK if you can get it out. But you can obviously replace this with anything else you want if you don't want to choose to run this. But this is searchable, so that's why I run into one. Now, this card is really good. I didn't realize that this was actually a thing that I can put in this deck until my friend pointed it out. But I run 3 Inferno Reckless Summons. Now the deck is inherently slow, so that's why I run this. You can special summon any monster from your graveyard or from your hand, including the Kagemucha Knight, and you can just activate this as a quick play and then just special summon. And obviously, just to let you guys know, you do need to wait for your opponent to have at least 1 monster on there. I usually choose to use this when they have an extra deck monster because they can't special summon anything from the extra deck, only the main deck. So that's why I run 3 of these Infernal Reckless Summons. Now, for draw power, I run 3 Allure of Darkness and then the 1 Upstart Goblin. Again, you run only darks in this deck anyways, and I usually like to place everything face down. If everything has to go to the graveyard anyways, that's fine because you benefit from the graveyard a lot in this deck. Now, I run 1 Rhoda, obviously because everything's a warrior in this, so you can search anything in the deck. And then I am trying out 1 Card of Destruction since it came back. One thing about card destruction is I like that you can discard your whole hand, but it is a -1. So, I mean, I'm kind of testing it out. I'm still iffy on it, but that's why we test out spicy things. Now, we run 2 Twin Twister for back row, and when we run 2 Burial from a different dimension. I didn't realize this was back at 3 until recently too, so I would keep it at 2. You don't really want to see this too often, and you really only want to, you know, you really only need 2 of this. So for my spicy tech, I am running 2 Mask Change, and this is the only non-Phantom Knight card in this. A Mask Change is second. This is the only non-Phantom Knights card that I'm using in this deck, just because, you know, everything is a dark, so you can summon Anki and you can summon Danklaw, and I think it's really funny when you summon Danklaw in front of your opponent, because then they can't do anything. They usually have to struggle to get that out of the field, and by that time you have your whole field set up with a bunch of trap cards and stuff. And then to top it off, the last final spells, we have 1 Monster Reborn and 1 Soul Charge. You get any of these cards in your opening hand draw, and it's basically game over. I'll show you the best perfect hand at the end of this video to kind of show you what you can do. Now onto the traps. We're gonna run 3 of the best Phantom Knight trap card in my opinion. Phantom Knight's Fog Blade. It's basically a fiendish chain in which your opponent cannot attack and you can't attack, and they can activate effects. This has saved me so many times. So run 3 of those. To complement these 3 cards, I run the 2 Phantom Knight Sword and the 2 Phantom Knight's Wing. Both of these protect your monsters, but they also give your monsters a little boost in attack, and you can banish these to special summon anything back from the grave to the field. So this is like another Monster Reborn, and this goes well in hand with the Reckless Summon, because it just combos, man. We run one last Phantom Knight trap card, and that is the Phantom Knights of Mistclaws. Now, I'm a little iffy on this card as well. It's a little slow, but when you activate it, you can get one of your banished cards back. And when it is in the graveyard and you have absolutely nothing on your field, if your opponent decides to attack, you can special summon this and another Phantom Knights monster, and then you have like 2 more monsters for a defense, kind of like a little wall. Alright, and for the final 3 traps, we're going to run 1 Solemn Judgment and then 2 Solemn Strike. This is a pretty heavy trap deck, or a heavy deck with a lot of traps in it, because it's a very slow but very defensive deck. So you want to make sure you have something basically now to prevent your opponent to doing anything. You want to get your stuff out before they do. I guess that's just with any Yu-Gi-Oh deck, right? Alright, so for the extra deck, we're going to be running 3 the Phantom Knights of Bricksword. He is a very key part of your deck. You're gonna go into him a lot, and for good reason, because you can target any monster, any card your opponent controls, and you can target himself or anything that you control you don't want on the field, just to pop and destroy. He's a removal. We're gonna run the 1 Dante, and that's basically it for the rank 3s. Rank 4s, we're gonna run the 1 Downward Magician, because you can go into Downward Magician if, let's say, in case you have an empty Dante, or if you have like a Phantom Knight's Bricksword, you can just go into Downward Magician really easily like that, just a free monster. And then we're gonna run 2 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragons. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon is probably one of my favorite dragon type monster from like the Arc 5 series, whatever. I don't know, he's pretty cool. But not as cool as his big brother, the Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. That's where that Break Up Spell card comes in play. He's pretty cool. He's kind of just more of a clutch card. If you could get him out and just stop all your opponents from doing anything, then you're pretty much good to go. So I only run 2 of the Phantom Knights Rusty Bardiche. I don't know how you say that. I only run 2 of these because I've only ever found myself going into 2 at max. I used to run 3, but it turned out to be a little too much, so I decided to cut that for space for other cards in my deck. I run 1 Wee Witch Apprentice, just a really good link monster for any dark deck that you have. 1 Akashic Magician. And this one I'm kind of iffy on. I rarely go into this one, but I just, I'm kind of testing it out to see how this one works. And then 1 Underclock Taker, and same thing goes with Underclock Taker. I am deciding about the Isolde, or what's it called?
Isolde.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm deciding about switching this off for Isolde and getting the equip cards in this deck. But if there ever comes a time where I'm going to be switching it up, I'll let you guys know and I'll update the deck profile for you guys. And then the final two extra deck monsters is Masked Hero Darklaw and then the Masked Hero Anki. Again, these are just very problematic cards for your opponent to get over. They have to get through this, and by that time they waste all their resources on that, and then you have enough resources for your own Phantom Knight monsters to kind of go all out. Now I'll show you like kind of like the good hand I can, like, you know, the best hand you can get the first turn, second turn, just to kind of get your board set up to the way you want it to. And we'll cut to that. So a basic card combo play that I have is just involves only these three cards right here. Inferno Reckless Summon, the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak, and the Phantom Knights of Selling Boots. Obviously, with this play, you can get yourself a Link monster out on the field, and even possibly a Xyz monster, if depending on the cards, the other two cards in your hand. But this is just a basic play for these three cards right here, to kind of showcase this one. Obviously, again, keep in mind your opponent doesn't have to have a monster on their side of the field to do so. You choose when to use it. So you normal summon this guy right here first, and because you have him on the field, you can special summon him. And because you special summon him, you can now activate this quick play, which in case you can target this on this, and your opponent chooses one of their monsters, and then you're now allowed to summon these two guys right here. And because now you have 3 Silent Boots on the field, or you have at least 4 monsters on the field right there in one turn, you can now go to a Link Summon. Now, a few cards that I don't have in this deck that you may want to check up on is maybe Firewall or Borreload, because they are a Link 4. This is an instant Link 4 right here. I just chose not to put those in because I just didn't have the room for it, and then I kind of want to try out a kind of more pure variant, a more fun variant. So keep that in mind. This card can give you that's a 1 card or 3 card combo for like a Borreload or like a Firewall, and you could kind of just go crazy or nuts with that. So I personally just get rid of these 3 right here, and then I just go into the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche, however you say it, and then you activate his effects. When you activate his effects, I set the Fog Blade, and I'll just send anything else from there. I will send, for this example, just one of these guys right here. And you set this guy directly from your deck. You can banish him, set another one, and so you have 2 Fog Blades and 1 monster right here. Or you could choose whatever extra card you have or you want. Another card you can dump to the graveyard as well would be the what's it called? The Rusty Robe. Because if you have him in there, then you can remove him, send another trap card, another Phantom Knight's trap card that can special summon one of these guys, and then you have 2 level 3 monsters. You can then overlay summon this guy, and because you summon a Dark Xyz monster in his little arrow pointer, you can pop whatever card you want. And so not only did you pop a card, but you set up your field with 2 Fog Blades, and 2 pretty good monsters. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys had a really good time watching this holiday special. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll keep you guys notified with our social media, like Twitter and Instagram.
Rah, rah, rah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm a wizard.
Okay.
Then we can